Welcome to the broadcast of News Hour on Som TV, the pulse of the nation. You can follow us on Facebook at Som TV and on YouTube at Som TV Live. Now the major headlines. Report from Gombe State, Governor Muhammadu Inuwa Yahaya has urged residents to sustain peace and harmony in the state. Senator Natasha Akpoti-Udogehen defies Kogi State gathering ban, engages supporters amid rising tensions. Take It Back movement calls for nationwide protest against free speech suppression and emergency rule in Rivers State. My name is Esther Oka Stephen with the news in full. During the celebration of Eid al-Fitr, Governor Muhammadu Inuwa Yahaya has urged residents to sustain peace and harmony in the state. Meanwhile, the Emir of Gombe State has called on citizens to prepare for the farming season. Som TV also take a special look at those work keeps them from fully celebrating Salah. Som TV correspondent Kamal files in the report.
Assalamu alaikum. Assalamu alaikum.
The holy month of Ramadan has come to an end, paving the way for the sighting of the Christian moon of Shawwal and the celebration of Eid al-Fitr, popularly known as Salah in Hausa land. As Muslims in Gombe and across the world mark this special occasion, Governor Muhammadu Inuwa has called on the people of the state to uphold peace and extend harmonious coexistence to neighboring communities.
I want to congratulate us all on this very auspicious occasion of the Eid al-Fitr, coming after the month of Ramadan, which is the most important month in the Islamic calendar, and in which we did the fast of 30 days or 29 days, as ordained by Almighty Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala. We thank you for giving us the privilege of seeing this Ramadan, and we pray that we will see more of Ramadan coming to us. And I urge the people to be more resilient, more steadfast, especially with regards to the issue of managing our security, because without security, nothing else will thrive well. And I believe we are seeing the effort, the result of the effort we are making in Gombe. But if there is peace in Gombe, and you move out of Gombe and you find no peace, it means there is no peace, because what you have can be scattered as you move outside Gombe. So we must try to see that we do our own, and we as well do it for our brothers, because we should be our brothers' keepers.
In his Salah message, the Emir of Gombe, Dr. Abubakar Shehu Abubakar III, urged citizens to prepare for the upcoming rainy season and engage actively in farming activities for a bountiful harvest. In a few weeks, the rainy season will begin. I urge our farmers to prepare for the season and make the most of the blessing God has given us. As an agriculturally and business-oriented people, we must continue working hard to ensure food prices remain affordable, making life easier for everyone. God has blessed us with diverse tribes, religions. We must use this diversity as a strength to live in peace and unity. Meanwhile, Som TV takes an in-depth look at those who job prevent them from fully participating in the festival. While millions gather to celebrate, many essential workers remain on duty, ensuring service continue uninterrupted despite the holy day. And I run a fast food business, mainly selling cooked Indomie noodles. We thank God for everything. Even though we are from this town, it is difficult for us to go home and celebrate Salah with our families and friends due to the nature of our work. We operate around the clock, especially on Salah day, when travelers rely on our service. If we close, my name is Isa Mohammed, and I work as a porter here. As you can see, we celebrate Salah in our own way. After returning from the Eid prayers, we provide food and drinks for ourselves before continuing our work, ensuring that travelers and customers receive the services they need.
sunana Babangida. Wallahi dai muna da zaune sakamakon mutane akwai wanda basu karbi kayan su ba. Muna kallo uzuri.
My name is Babangida and I am a waybill officer. Today is Salah, but there are many packages to be delivered, some of which may even be Salah clothes for their owners. We work in shift. My colleagues handle the night shift, and I am here for the day shift. This is how we celebrate Salah, by serving people. From Gombe, Kamal Hammajo, Som TV News.
Reports has it that despite the Kogi state government bans on gatherings, Senator Natasha Akpoti-Uduaghan had already arrived from Lagos the night before, greeted by an enthusiastic crowd of supporters, a visit which coincided with Salah celebration unfolded aimed amid rising tension following a curfew imposed by the Okachi local government chairman and warnings from security agencies. Undeterred by restrictions, the embattled PDP lawmaker landed in Ihimi, Okachi local government area board, while with a white helicopter, where she was met with cheers from crowds representing Kogi Central 5 local government areas. Addressing her supporters, Akpoti clarified that her presence was a festive occasion, not a political rally. Her return to the state comes at a critical time as she faces suspension from the Senate over allegations linked to Senator President Godswill Akpabio, alongside an ongoing recall effort which she attributes to political persecution. Some TV correspondent files in the report.
Yesterday, when we read on the news that rallies, gatherings will not be allowed, that roads will be blocked, convoys leading into the states will not be allowed, I knew that we were the targets. But then I said, this is not political season, this is not campaign time. We are not having a rally. This is just me, the senator representing Kogi Central, coming down to have people to celebrate this festive time, the Salah, with you. And there is nothing wrong in that. I am breaking no law. This is Nigeria. We have the right to be free, to express our choice in gatherings and celebrations. We have customs. I can give you the microphone. Me, from coming home to celebrate Salah with my people, there's no law at all. And therefore I knew that even though I am not a lawbreaker, I appreciate the powers of the governor. In addition, I also read the statement, the press release from the Commissioner of Police. Okay, I also respect him. But again, we are gathered in our home. This is not the streets, right? So we are breaking no law. And also, we came in with a helicopter. We didn't come by road. So that means we did not break law.
No convoy, no convoy. No convoy. No convoy.
But now let's get to something very important. Let's get to something very important. On the 23rd of February, listen, Arahim, this is very important now. On the 23rd of February, was it 23rd? No. 28th of February 2023. On the 28th of February 2023, you all voted for me across party lines. lined up in the various polling units and you voted for me to emerge as your senator, right? You were not forced. Your votes were not bought. You stood under the sun to cast your votes for me, Natasha, right? So that I will represent you in the National Assembly as a senator, right? Don't let anybody steal that from you. Don't let anybody steal your representation away from you. The entire country is suffering from bad leadership. The only reason why I have been persecuted so much in the past 1 month is because I dared the bad, corrupt system. I refuse to do things the way they usually play politics. I refuse to be silenced. The past it's been a year and 4 months, right? Yes, I was sworn in November 2023. So that makes it a year and 4 months, about 5 months, a year and 4 months. It has not been an easy journey. It's just that I had it all, I kept it all inside. It's not been an easy journey. The empowerments you saw here, the police stations that we built, the schools we're rehabilitating, the numerous water projects, it had to take a whole lot of lobbying amongst my colleagues, ministers, and many others to get these projects to you. It's not as if they were given on the platter of gold. I went out there in Abuja and I worked for you. I used the office that you gave me to work for your good. But as I worked, I created enemies. As I worked diligently, as I brought the dividends of democracy to you, I created enemies among some of my colleagues. There are some that felt I subjected them to ridicule. They told me, Natasha, your empowerments, by your empowerments, you're making our constituents insult us. So I kept on apologizing to them. Distinguished, I'm sorry, that's not my intention. Distinguished, I'm sorry, that's not my intention. But in my heart, I knew.
The Take It Back movement has announced the nationwide protest on April 7, 2025 to oppose the emergency rule in Rivers State and the illegal museum of the Cybercrime Act of Suppress Free Speech. The protest, dubbed Nationwide Protest Against Bad Governance and Free Speech Suppression, will take place at the National Assembly in Abuja, with additional location to be announced soon. The movement, known for organizing the 2024 End Bad Governance protest, is demanding the repeal of the Cybercrime Act, which they claim is being used to target journalists, activists, and social media users. They are all calling for the end of what they describe as military rule in Rivers State under President Bola Tinubu's administration and advocating for the reinstatement of suspended government institutions. Juwon Sanwo-Olu, TIBS national coordinator, criticized President Tinubu's policies, arguing they have exacerbated economic hardship, inflation, and security issues. The movement has consistently mobilized against these issues, building a reputation for advocating for democratic rights and social justice. TIBS activities include high-profile protests, petitions, and advocacy campaigns challenging governmental policies and media attention and international support. The movement has commended the suspension of Rivers State governor and elected officials as well as the harassment and persecution of journalists under the Cybercrime Act. Further details and additional protest location will be released as the date approaches. The protest is part of a larger movement aimed at ending bad governance, improving transparency, and ensuring the protection of free speech in Nigeria. Jalingo is set to host the Taraba for Jesus Power Crusade, a major spiritual gathering organized by the Leonard Kawas Foundation in partnership with the Christian Association of Nigeria, CAN. The event takes place at Jolly Nyame Stadium, aimed to bring thousands of Christians together for worship, healing, and revival. Archbishop Professor Leonard Bature Kawas, the visionary behind the crusade, is a renowned evangelist dedicated to spreading the gospel and supporting humanitarian causes. His foundation provides free education and welfare support to orphaned children, reinforcing its missions of faith and service. The crusade will feature prayer session, powerful teachings, and worship, with a strong emphasis on evangelism and community outreach. Organizers believe the event will inspire unity and lasting spiritual renewal in Taraba State. With excitement building across the state, faith leaders and attendees anticipate a transformative experience that will strengthen the Christian community and uplift society. Some TV correspondent Liliane Yakubu files in the report.
I am Archbishop Professor Leonard Bature Kawas, the international evangelist. I am here in Jalingo because from the 9th, which is Wednesday 9th, to Sunday the 13th, there's going to be the Jesus Power Crusade. 5 p.m. every day at the Jolly Nyame Stadium. And these are volunteer workers that we have met today, and want to invite all of you who are on the platform to join us on this Saturday morning at the Jolly Nyame Stadium. So we invite you to join us. Also on Tuesday, the 8th of April, we are going to have a rally throughout Jalingo, and we want all of you to join us for the rally so that we prepare for the crusade that kicks off on Wednesday, the 9th of April. So we look forward to welcoming you there, and may God bless.
In a series of coordinated operations throughout the first quarter of 2025, the Nigerian police force has intensified efforts to combat kidnapping and illegal arms trafficking. On March 29, 2025, police operatives, in collaboration with other security agencies, carry out a successful operation along the Takum-Maraba Road in Taraba State. The operation, which followed a kidnapping in progress in Muji town, resulted in the rescue of 20 victims and the recovery of all vehicles abandoned by the kidnappers. 2 victims sustained injuries and are currently receiving medical care. In a separate incident, the Kano State, a police investigation into the kidnapping of Dr. Mohammed Yusua, which began on March 8, 2025, led to the arrest of Tukur Lawal, aka Mekudi, on March 18th and 19th. The victim was successfully rescued and reunited with his families. Inspector General of Police Kayode Igbetokun has praised the officers involved in this operation of their courage and professionalism. In the same vein, on March 30, 2025, the Ebonyi State Police Command successfully rescued a kidnapped victim along the Mile 50 area in Abakaliki. The victim, whose identity as not be disclosed, was being abducted when the police received a tip-off and swift intervened. The kidnappers, under pressure from the police, abandoned both the victim and their vehicles, including a Toyota Corolla and a Toyota Sienna. The vehicles were recovered by the police and are now at the command headquarters for identification by their rightful owners. Ebonyi State Commissioner of Police CP Adako Uche Anya reaffirmed the police commitment to protecting lives and property and urged residents to report any distress situation to the police control room. Governor Abdullahi Sule of Nasarawa State has reaffirmed his commitment to its policies and projects that will endure beyond his tenure. Speaking in Gudi while hosting a Sala delegation led by Deputy Governor Dr. Emmanuel Akebe, he emphasized the need for sustainability in governance, particularly in securing investors' confidence through legal protection. Sule highlights efforts to implement legal framework and safeguard investments, preventing abrupt policy reversal by future administration. He stressed that such measures ensure long-term economic benefit for the state and its people. He also revealed plans to appoint the estate manager for the newly constructed state secretariat, reinforcing its administration focus on institutional rather than professional legacies. Reflecting on Nasarawa development trajectory, Sule acknowledged growing opportunities and reiterated its necessity of a dedicated team to derive progress. He urged officials to embrace transparency and ethical leadership, warning against the pursuit of quick wealth on the significance of Ramadan. The governor called for continued adherence to its value of selflessness, unity, and inclusivity beyond the fasting period. Meanwhile, Deputy Governor Akebe, on behalf of the delegation, pledged unwavering support for Sule's administration, praising his efforts to advance the state's development. House of Representatives members Temihin Adelegbe had credited the deployment of vigilante group within curbing the wave of kidnapping in Ifon Osen local government area of Ondo State. He revealed plans to extend the strategy across the Owo Ose federal constituency to enhance security. Adelegbe, speaking on crime-fighting efforts, emphasized that vigilante patrol and logistical support, including operational vehicles, had driven kidnappers out of the areas. He noted that farmers have been frequent targets and the security intervention had restored safety. Additionally, the lawmaker highlighted infrastructure projects including the completed Ute Okeluse Road and a planned 40-kilometer road linking 14 communities, which Governor Lucky Aiyedatiwa has pledged to shape. Adelegbe also listed achievements in education, including constructing science laboratories at Emore and Uso Grammar School. He reiterated his commitment to development initiatives such as poverty alleviation, skills acquisition, empowerment programs, and financial aid for traders. As of February 28, 2025, the National Identity Management Commission, NIMC, reported that over 117 million Nigerians have received their national identity numbers, NIN. Lagos State leads with over 12.6 million registrants, followed by Kano with 10.2 million. Other states with significant enrollment include Kaduna, 6.9 million, Ogun, 4.9 million, and Oyo, 4.5 million. The data shows a nearly balanced gender distribution, with 56.5% of registrants being male and 43.5% female. On the other hand, Bayelsa, Ebonyi, and Ekiti recorded the lowest figures, with Bayelsa having just 758 registrants. The top 10 states also include Katsina, the Federal Capital Territory, Rivers, Delta, and Bauchi. These figures highlight the progress of the NIN registration process across the country. Rivers State Sole Administrator Vice Admiral Ibok Ete Ibas recently inspected the ongoing Trans-Calabria Road project in Rumulumini, Obio Akpo local government area. He emphasized that the road, once completed, will significantly the projectives aim to ease communication and transportation difficulties. Ibas also inspected the construction of the civil servants' quarters for permanent secretaries, stressing the importance of providing adequate housing for civil servants to enhance productivity. He called on contractors to meet the project's deadline and expressed confidence that this development will positively impact both the state and the nations. Ogun State Governor Ademola Adeleke has issued a stern warning to traditional rulers in Ifon Osun, Eri Osun, and Ilobu communities, urging them to ensure peace in the region or face removal from office. The governor's statement follows reports of planned attack in these areas despite ongoing Salah celebrations. Adeleke assured that security agencies have intensified surveillance and are interrogating key figures involved in the conflict. He emphasized that any reoccurrence of violence would lead to the reimposition of a full curfew and the dismissal of any traditional ruler whose community fails to maintain peace. Plateau State internally generated revenue (IGR) for January 2025 surpassed 3.3 billion naira, according to the Plateau Internal Revenue Service. Dr. Jim Wayas, chairman of PIRS, shared the update during an interview in Jos, revealing that the agency aimed to reach the IGR target of 52 billion naira by 2025. Despite challenging economic conditions, Wayas emphasized that PIRS has adopted business-friendly strategies, including nano businesses, focusing on taxing income rather than capital. He also urged residents to regularly pay taxes to support the state's infrastructure development and improve public service. The Nigerian Army, under the 6th Division base in Rivers State, has arrested 39 suspected oil thefts and dismantled 18 illegal refinery sites in a joint operation conducted from March 2024 to 30th 2025. The operation, targeting crude oil theft and related crimes in Niger Delta, resulted in the confiscation of over 60,000 liters of stolen petroleum products. The army intercepted a truck carrying concealed stolen goods and dismantled multiple refining sites along the Imo River and other locations. In Bayelsa and Delta states, several refining sites were destroyed and stolen crude oil was recovered. Troops also targeted oil thefts in Akwa Ibom, making significant progress in curbing illegal activities. General Officer commanding the 6th Division, Major General Emmanuel Eric Emeka, urged continued efforts to combat oil theft, emphasizing the importance of creating a secure environment for lawful exploration activities. The Zamfara State Rescue Movement, ZSRM, has expressed support for Governor Dauda Lawal, urging him to continue focusing on delivering democratic benefits to the state citizens. In a statement, the group assured the governor of their votes in the 2027 election. These endorsements came in response to the state from the factional All Progressive Congress APC Publicity Secretary Yusuf Idris Gusau, who criticized the governor's implementation of the 70,000 naira minimum wage for civil servants. Lawal Usman Idris, the group's coordinator and former senior special assistant to the previous governor, clarified that the APC's claim of deceit regarding the governor's action were misleading. He emphasized that Lawal is committed to fulfilling his campaign promises, especially in the face of the state's challenges, including banditry, kidnapping, and economic instability. Idris also condemned attempts to mislead the public and incite opposition to the government. He called on all pro-democracy advocates to support the governor in his efforts to overcome the state's economic struggles. Bauchi State Governor Bala Mohammed has called for continued support for traditional rulers to ensure that effective delivery of democracy dividend to the people. He made this appeal when the Emir of Bauchi, Relwanu Suleiman Adamu, led the delegations to the government house for Salah celebration. Represented by his deputy, Awal Jato, Governor Bala emphasized the importance of education in educating the people on government efforts and fostering greater understanding. He expressed appreciation for the Salah homage paid by the Emir and other traditional leaders, noting that the long-standing tradition demonstrates the strong support from the traditional institution in Bauchi. The governor reaffirmed the government's commitment to improving the lives of citizens by providing infrastructure and social amenities despite limited resources. On security, Governor Bala urged the traditional rulers to help maintain law and order in their communities by staying vigilant and encouraging their subjects to report suspicious activities in the state. He underscored the importance of collaboration between the government, security agencies, and traditional institutions in addressing security challenges in the state. Enugu State Governor Dr. Peter Mba has pledged to eliminate mother and child mortality in the state, highlighting its administration's commitment to a people-focused government. During a visit to the Type 2 primary healthcare facility in Otuko, Emene, Governor Mba emphasized plans to ensure 24-hour service at all such centers, backed by sustainable power staff quarters and improve access to water and sanitation. Mba also directed the construction of a new Type 3 primary health care facility in Emene and praised the effort of the Enugu East Local Government Chairman, Engineer Beloved Dan Enike, for registering 5,000 beneficiaries in the Universal Health Coverage Program. The governor was lauded by state health officials, including Dr. Ikechukwu Obi, Commissioner for Health, and Dr. Ifeyinwa Ani Osheku, Executive Secretary of the Enugu State Primary Healthcare Development Agency, for improving healthcare standard with the use of advanced AI in obstetrics care. The Nigerian Center for Disease Control, NCDC, has raised concern over a surge in cerebrospinal meningitis (CSM) cases, with 807 suspected cases and 74 deaths reported across 22 states as of March 26, 2025. Kebbi, Gombe, and Katsina are the hardest hit states. The NCDC is intensifying vaccination efforts and raising public awareness as the disease spreads through respiratory and poses a high risk during the dry season. Public health expert Professor Tenimola Akende has called for proactive vaccination campaign, especially in northern Nigeria. Early detections and vaccinations are critical to preventing further fatalities. Archbishop Emma David Okafuegu of the New Covenant of God Church, Nnewi, has urged Governor Chukwuma Soludo of Anambra State to seek guardians from the Christian Association of Nigeria on religious matters. Speaking in an interview, Okafuegu criticized the governor's recent ban on open-air preaching in markets, attributing the decision of misleading advice from his aide. He noted that the practice of market preaching was introduced by former Governor Chinwoke Mbadinju and urged that restricting it undermines religious freedom in Nigeria. While commending Soludo's developmental efforts, the cleric warned against policies that could destabilize peace in the state. The Minister of the Federal Capital Territory, FCT, Nwesom Wike, has expressed condolences to former Benue State Governor Samuel Ortom over the passing of his younger brother, Bernard Ortom. In a statement issued on Tuesday by the Senior Special Assistant on Public Communication and Social Media, Larry Olayinka, Wike described the loss as painful and prayed for the repose of the deceased soul. He urged Ortom and his family in Gumu local government area to remain strong, emphasizing that death is an inevitable part of life. Wike extended his sympathies on behalf of his family's friends and associates, praying for the family's fortitude to bear the loss. Imo State University Owerri has matriculated approximately 8,000 students for the 2024/2025 academic session. Vice Chancellor Professor Uchefula Ogonna Chukwuemazie, addressing the students, highlighted the institution's competitive admission process, noting that over 26,000 applicants selected the university as their first choice, with more than 20,000 sitting for the post-UTME. Professor Chukwuemazie urged the newly admitted students to remain focused on their academic journey and not get carried away by the excitement of the matriculation ceremony. He emphasized the importance of successfully completing their programs. He also outlined some of the university's recent achievements, including a 100% success rate in 34 NUC and professional accreditation in November 2023. with 12 additional accreditation secured this year. The Jigawa State Chapter of the Christian Association of Nigeria has condemned the extrajudicial killing of 16 hunters from Kano State in Uromi, Edo State. In a statement issued in Dutse, CAN chairman Reverend Father Maurice Kule Hassan described the killing as purely criminal and called on the federal government and security agencies to bring the perpetrators to justice. He emphasized that the incident violates human rights, particularly the freedom of movement and association, and expressed sympathy for the victim's family. Reverend Hassan urged authorities to take decisive action to prevent similar occurrence. Reaffirming CAN's commitment to peace and coexistence, he congratulated Muslims in Jigawa and across Nigeria on the occasion of Eid al-Fitr. He also commended Governor Malam Umar Namadi for fostering religious harmony in the state. The CAN chairman called for calm, prayers, and unity in the face of national challenges, including economic hardship and insecurity. Kaduna State Deputy Governor Dr. Adiza Balaraba has dedicated a Women Making Impact Award to the women and girls of Kaduna and northern Nigeria. In a statement on Tuesday, she expressed gratitude to Governor Uba Sani for recognizing her contribution and providing her the opportunity to serve. Dr. Balaraba received the Women of Impact in Government and Politics Award from Arise News on Monday. She described the honors as a reflection of collective efforts to improve governance and society. As the first elected female deputy governor in the northern Nigeria, she emphasized the need for resilience, collaboration, and strategic planning to tackle challenges in healthcare, education, and women's empowerment. She highlighted the importance of inclusive accountability and transparent governance, while advocating for sustained programs targeting vulnerable groups. The award, she said, reinforced her commitment to breaking barriers and inspiring future female leaders. Dr. Balaraba also extended appreciation to the Kaduna State Executive Council, particularly its female members, our team government, staff, families, and friends for their support throughout her journey. We are taking a break now. We'll be right back. Please don't go away. Right now, as I'm talking to you, we are already looking out for a terminal in Abuja, because Abuja route is actually the ultimate. That was the motivation behind the establishment of the company, so that travels between Abuja and Jalingo can be done comfortably. So we are trusting God that by April, before the end of April, we will start the Abuja route. We are already looking out for a terminal. And so that is the basic thing. And we go into car hire services too. You can hire our Sena buses, you can hire our Hummer buses, you can also hire our ambulances. So we have all these types of vehicles in place. And I want to say here what I mean by Welcome back. We are glad you're still with us. Coming up next, Medecins Sans Frontieres (MSF) has raised alarm over the worsening meningitis outbreak in northwest Nigeria, particularly in Kebbi State, Sokoto State, with over 500 reported cases and more than 60 deaths in Kebbi alone. MSF's Field Communications Manager, Teresa Krong, revealed that meningitis has been spreading rapidly since early March, warning that this situation will worsen unless immediate mass vaccination with preventive measures are implemented. The outbreak has severely impacted 3 local government areas in Kebbi, Gwandu, Jega, and Alirio, where MSF team has been actively treating patients, supplying hospitals with essential drugs, and training medical staffs. Dr. Buka, an MSF medical doctor in Kebbi State, described the situation as alarming, emphasizing the high mortality rate if treatment is delayed. He noted that meningitis, particularly in Neisseria meningitidis strain, prevalent in Nigeria, can be fatal in up to 80% of untreated cases. Symptoms include high fever, stiff neck, severe headache, vomiting, seizures, and sensitive to light. In response, MSF is working closely with the Sokoto and Kebbi State Health Ministries to launch a massive vaccination campaign in early April. The organization is also expanding its emergency response across northern Nigeria as more suspected cases are being reported in multiple states. Meningitis remains a significant public health challenge in the African meningitis belt and region spanning from Senegal to Ethiopia. The dry, dusty environment facilitates the disease spread, which occurs through respiratory organs. Given the rapid progress of symptoms, early diagnosis and vaccinations are crucial in controlling the outbreak. MSF, which has been operating in Nigeria since 1996, reiterates its commitment to providing free medical care in affected states and called on local and federal authorities to expedite vaccination efforts to prevent further fatalities. That's all for this edition on News Hour from Some TV. Before we go, here is a recap of the major headlines. Report from Gombe State Governor Muhammadu Inuwa Yahaya has urged residents to sustain peace and harmony in the state. Senator Natasha Akpoti-Udogen defies Kogi State gathering ban, emerges supporters amid rising tensions. Take It Back movement calls for nationwide protests against free speech suppression and emergency rules in Rivers State. That's the end of News Hour for now. You can follow us on Facebook at Some TV and on YouTube at Some TV Live.